Hello, in the video. Today you're gonna take a look at the Alolan Sandslash in the Great League meta. In general, ice types are currently pretty rare in the Great League meta, which makes Alolan Sandslash a very interesting Pokemon to take a look at. Spoiler alert for tomorrow, there's going to be a very cool video on my channel as well, with a 10-game win streak with also another ice type Pokemon. So subscribe if you haven't already, and also leave a like on this video. I usually don't really say it during the video, but let's get right into this one. We see here a horrible lead with the Medicham having access to Power Punch. Not the best, especially when you have a lead like the Alolan Sandslash. Alolan Sandslash is double weak to fighting type moves, of course, as well as it's weak to fire types. The typing itself, I think, from Alolan Sandslash is, at least defensively, a little bit tricky. There are a ton of Pokemon that have really decent matchups against you, but maybe in terms of the offensive value, it might be pretty nice. We also see here that they are going to run the Powder Snow version instead of the Shadow Claw version here, as they have more coverage currently in the meta with this. I'm pretty sure that at least I would also recommend you to not run the Shadow Claw version, as you have stuff like the Licky Tongue, and also against, for example, the Altaria, Powder Snow is just a little bit better. So I also think that the Powder Snow version is currently a little bit better, as we see a D-Danny here against them. That's kind of spicy here. We see the Shadow Ball coming through. Shadow Ball gonna do some nice damage. They can still go for one Bubble Beam. They're actually going to shield this move up, which is interesting. Can they get to another Shadow Ball here? They can. Very nice here, as this one will knock them out and they will be able to win the game. They, of course, had to shield. They're also the last Pokemon alive. I'm pretty sure, though, that the here, for example, Shadow Claw would be way better, but I'm pretty sure that Ice Punch does a little bit more in a neutral scenario than Bulldoze, I think, as well, just if you want to get some damage, like before they went for the Bulldoze against the Medicham, which I found a little bit weird. Here, of course, Bulldoze is the only real way to go, as Ice Punch is resisted, but now going for Ice Punch should be enough to maybe even knock them out already. But we're going to get the shield there and a very nice catch. Could be the Shadow Ball, though, and it will be the Shadow Ball, so maybe not the greatest catch here, but you can farm them all the way down, which is fine. Is you will be able to go for another move now against whatever wants to come in. You will be able to realign, which is nice, and we see the Altaria coming in. Being able to not get the Swampert aligned against the Altaria will be very nice. You have to wait out the clock here, of course. They will be swapping out immediately, and we will see here that they have an Umbreon in the back. This should be pretty okay. Again, don't go for the Bulldoze there. Bulldoze is not stab. Bulldoze is a horrible move. Try to go for the Ice move instead. Helps you out way more. Bulldoze is a really bad move, by the way. Like, if they had any better kind of coverage move like an Earthquake, definitely you would run that instead. Bulldoze is one of the worst moves that are available, but it's also a little bit good to see some trainers doing some mistakes, because this helps you then out as well to see what you can improve and what not. Here they should just go for the Ice Punch. Here they can just... Oh, they're going to go for the farm down, I think. Can they survive the Sky Attack? They can definitely survive it, but can they go for the full farm down? They can. Now for two Ice Punches. Also here, go for one more fast move if they get one move through anyway, as you know that they will not feign to one charge move there anyway. But yeah, Ice Punch is stab. Ice Punch is still not even a very strong move either, but it's at least a stab move, and still better than Bulldoze. So just in general, Ice Punch is the way to go. Here we see a matchup against a Skarmory. Again, not the best move timing. They got a free fast move through, as we will see them going for one charge move here. Will be a Sky Attack, which does basically not a lot of damage. Again, they got, I think, a little bit more of a fast move through there. I should definitely make a video in terms of fast move timing here. Was not really necessary to swap out. You could have just shielded and most likely farmed them down. But you will be at least able to get out the Venusaur. Having the say swap here of the Jellicent at least does make some kind of sense, as Jellicent will be able to get out those grass types that you don't want to face with your Swampert, while still having some options to still threaten those. You will be able to go into your Sandslash again, and you will have a better time here. I would expect that they have something like Sableye in the back, would make at least some kind of sense. Let's see what they have. They're going to go to the Skarmory again. You would have been maybe even able to farm them down, but you will be able to go for an Ice Punch now. You will knock them out, and we see actually a Swampert in the back. You can go for one charge move here. This will put them into range for... Oh, that actually will be very nice here, because now you can just go straight Earthquake and knock them out. Very good for you. You can just shield once, and you will be fine. You're going to let the first move go through. Not really necessary, but like, it doesn't really matter anyway. If they went for Earthquake there, you would have been screwed, because you would have got knocked out there. So I would shield the first one anyway, because they only can get to two Hydro Cannons anyway. They will not be able to get to an Hydro Cannon and an Earthquake, so there's that. We'll see Pelipper here. Pelipper is a little bit tricky, of course, as you need to be aware of the Hurricane. Does some nice damage here, and you can get to the Bubble Beam in time. Perfect move timing here, by the way. After 3 hexes, they were not able to get to the Weather Ball in time. You will be able to shield up, and you will be able to farm down in time as well. You will be able to farm down at the same time as they can farm you down. Interesting what you're going to do now. Do you go into the Swampert? Do you go into the Sandslash? You're going to go into the Swampert. They're going to go into the Registeel, which is a good matchup for you, and the Altaria are going to meet now the Sandslash again. You can just go for the full farm down here, I'm pretty sure. I wouldn't even throw a single charge move here. You can go for the full farm down, and you will be able to go for... You would have been able definitely to farm them all the way down. You can go still, I think, for 1 Bulldoze, which is fine then. But I think you would have been able to even hit 2 Bulldozers here, which would have been very nice as well. But it doesn't matter. You should be still fine here. You can go for 2 Hydro Cannons against a Swampert, and you should be okay. Actually, I also see sometimes some confusion in the comment section all the time. If there is a name above the team, it's not from myself, but from that person exactly who has the name above the team there. So if I say in something in a third person review there, it's not because I talk about myself in third person review, because it's from someone else and I haven't seen the battles yet. We see here another Sandslash, which is a kind of rare pick for this meta, but they run the Shadow Claw version, which is horrible for your team, but it's something that you cannot really prepare for because nobody runs it usually. But of course, you're going to face it today. We will see here the opponent going for 1 Bulldoze, which is fine for you, still not going to hurt you too much. You're gonna get the shield with bait there, which is amazing. As we see a very interesting pick here again with the Golbat, something you don't really see too often, but a little bit more often, I guess, than the Sandslash, as they will be able to farm you all the way down. You can farm them down with your Sandslash as well, and you can go for a Bulldoze against the Sandslash coming in later on. So you should be fine here. They can go for 1 more move here. This is only a Poison Fang, no need to shield here. I hope they realize it. Yeah, they're going to realize it as well. And they will be able to reach the next Bulldoze in time before they can get to 1 as well. Never mind. But I think this is only a Nice Punch, right? Yeah, it's only a Nice Punch. Should have also no shield there. Would have been resisted. Would have not knocked you out even after the debuff, but we will see a Crobat in the back, which allows you now to go into your Swampert. I think the swap is definitely understandable and definitely works out pretty well, because this nearly not one-shots them already, and you can even mud-shot them down there, which is very good for you. Next game, we see a Hypno. Hypno is also kind of rare recently, but kind of cool. Hitmontop is actually one of the best Pokemon in terms of PvPoke coverage there, because this thing always seems to win like those matchups super closely. It's kind of funny, like Hitmontop usually is highly ranked in PvPoke just because you have the perfect coverage with it and you have some decent bulk, but of course in the long run, if you actually use it yourself, you just realize how long it takes to get to the charge moves. But yeah, in PvPoke, Hitmontop is like always one of the higher ranked fighters for whatever reason, but nobody uses it. Kind of hilarious. We see here the opponent going for 1 Shadow Ball. Nice shield there from you. You will be able to get the shield back anyway, or you just swap into your Swampert. A little bit risky because the Shadow Ball would knock you out here or like get you close, but they actually go for the Ice Punch, which is land fine for you, but the Shadow Ball would have done more. Again, not the ideal move timing. You should win for 1 more fast move, allow the opponent only to get a 1 extra, like a 2 extra turns instead of 4 like there, but you will be able to still knock them out. You will be able to realign, and you have to realign as the Talonflame comes in. Again, not ideal move timing. Again, you have to go for 1 more fast move before you just give the opponent a free Incinerate, which gives them the opportunity now to go for 1 Brave Bird to knock you out, but you still should be able to go for 1 Ice Punch, and you still should be able to knock them out with this move here, hopefully. Yeah, you do. But again, definitely something that this trainer can improve on is the move timing. You don't have to throw immediately. Like if the opponent doesn't get to a charge move and you know that they're gonna not feint, for example, and you don't really mind the extra damage of their fast move on you, just go for 1 extra fast move there and you would have been fine. But it's something that you definitely can improve on if you were watching the video, but I would expect that you watch the video if you send those videos. If you want to send in some gameplay, of course, the link always in the description, especially when the Ultra League comes back. I'm interested in a lot of Ultra League content there because I'm going to be away for the Warsaw Regionals, which is over the Ultra League period as well, so I have to pre-produce there. So feel free to send in some battles. The likelihood of me covering them is even higher for the Ultra League version. We will see here another Jellicent, very nice for you that you will be able to knock them out, especially if you have Hex and they have Bubble. We will see the Bubble Beam coming through now against the Skarmory will be able to knock them all the way down, and we see a fighter in the back. Good thing that you don't have to line your Pokemon in the back there, your Sandslash against it. You will be able to survive it, you will be able to go for one bait here. I hope they shield, it's kind of important, and they do shield, and this was unnecessary. Again, going into the Swampert here would have been better, but we will see that you can farm them all the way down. And I guess like it's actually kind of nice to see some battles where also some mistakes are made. We didn't really have a lot of recently where people made some mistakes, but like those are like things that you can just directly improve. Helps maybe some other people as well to see where you can improve your gameplay. Here, very good counting towards the Power Punch was that it's only a Power Punch. You go for the Earthquake, that's very risky, but can work out pretty well. But yeah, again, it's very risky. You would have been able to hit 2 Hydro Cannons in time, so definitely I would just go for Hydro Cannon at this point of time. You just don't lose anything by going for Hydro Cannon. Now you lost a ton of energy and you don't have any damage really on the opponent's Medicham, or if you go for 2 Hydro Cannons, you're just always going to have either damage or the shield or both. So I think it's a little bit better. Very nice catch there though on the Registeel potential Focus Blast. They went now for one Bulldoze. This Bulldoze is going to put them into range for one Shadow Ball, which is going to be nice. You're actually going to shield this move up. Yeah, not the biggest fan of this decision, but you might be able to. But yeah, they're going to go into the Medicham anyway now, and you see why I'm not really the biggest fan of this decision. They will be able to now farm you all the way down. They will be able to go for a move here, which might be a Psychic. It is a Power Punch again. I don't know, they just like the Power Punch. You're gonna go for the Bubble Beam, which I do understand if you can farm them all the way down, because you kind of need the energy advantage now. You cannot use a shield here anymore. The Registeel has a ton of energy, and they just go straight Power Punch for whatever reason. You will be able to farm them all the way down as we see the Stunfisk coming in. And at this game, I think you're going to lose, because there's not a lot that you can do here anymore. But I think there were like some decisions that you again could have played a little bit better. For example, the thing there that you swapped into your Sandslash again didn't really make any sense at all, to be fair, and would have helped you against this Pokemon a little bit more. And then, for example, the Registeel there, but yeah, we also, the shield was not really necessary. Now they're going to be able to, you have to try to farm them down, and you will be actually able to farm them down. I actually can still flip this. No, I don't think you can. There should be an Earthquake, right? It is an Earthquake and it will knock you out. But yeah, still a good game, something to improve again. We see an Empoleon in the lead. Horrible lead for you, but you can swap out here, or you just stay in and go for Bulldoze, but you will not be able to reach it in time. They're going to throw the Drill Peck here. I think they didn't catch it here. Yeah. Oh, it's actually the Hydro Cannon. Very nice catch then. We see the Noctowl coming in, which is a hard wall for Jellicent. That's one of the reasons why I just don't like Jellicent. There are a ton of normal types currently in the meta, and all of them are just hard wall you, which is kind of annoying, so. Also, by going straight for the Bubble Beam, you kinda show the opponent already that you don't run Ice Beam. While it's unlikely you would have maybe been able to get a shield there from them, but it's super unlikely. It's not completely a wrong thing to go straight for the Bubble Beam there in this scenario, but you could have at least tried to bait an Ice Beam and see if the opponent gets, like, I don't know, weak nerves and things, or it might be actually the stronger move. This is going to be a tough one now. You will be able to get the knockout here, but you also see a Pelipper in the back, and Pelipper against Swampert is of course a very horrible matchup for the Swampert, as your moves are all resisted, their moves are neutral, and even though you will be able to two-shot them, even though you will be able to also outspeed them, I don't think you will be able to win this game anymore. So yeah, this is going to be a tough one at the end there. We will see the Weather Ball. Maybe if you catch one still. If you catch one move, you might be able to. But you will not be able to get to 2 moves here in time. You have to catch the next one from them, as you cannot catch them. I think this was a CMP tie, which will seal the deal for the opponent, that you will be able to win this game. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Definitely a cool Pokemon to use. Definitely a lot of things you can improve in your gameplay here. But still, thanks for sending those battles in. If you want to send some in, it's linked in the description. Leave a like on the video if you haven't, and I hope I see you in the next video. Bye!